comment, like,
share, and subscribe.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Spicy, tasty vegan cuisine. Yeah.
Salamata. Ital, we're ital, and a vegan, we're vegan. I and I eat from the earth and leave the animals to give birth. No deaders, no fur, no feathers. When I tell people I don't eat meat, fish, or dairy, then look for me strangely. Then I realize I eat a very wide variety. Listen to Maccabee. Yo, how when me eat them, I wonder when me eat. When me tell them, say me no eat no fish, no meat now. How when me eat them, I wonder when me yam. When me tell them, say that I'm a vegan, man. How when me eat them, I wonder when me eat. When me tell them, say me no eat no fish, no meat now. How when me eat them, I
Good afternoon, Gambia. Good afternoon, West Africa. Good afternoon, Africa as a whole. Good afternoon to you and you out there making the nation of the Gambia. We want to say bravo to you for a very robust week that we've had. Again, coming to you live this Thursday in this month of September, bringing to you the voice of ECOWAS. Listeners, if you're just joining us wherever you're tuning in from, whether on our official media platforms or you are listening to us live right here on SENN FM 90.5, this is your usual program, The Voice of ECOWAS, coming to you live here on SENN FM 90.5 again. Listeners, today is going to be interesting as we have very, very important guests in the studios. Not only that, we are having citizens upgrading the citizenship of the Gambia, coming from the diaspora to improve on the citizenry of the nation of the Gambia, but that we have them coming in calibers and in qualities to input into the upgrading level, standard level of the nation of the Gambian people. Are we not blessed? We are obviously blessed. This is the voice of ECOWAS coming to you live on SENN FM 90.5. Listeners, we'll be right back, and when I come back, I introduce my guest. Stay tuned.
Please comment, like,
share, and subscribe.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Spicy, tasty vegan cuisine. Yeah.
Welcome back to the program, listeners. If you're just joining us wherever you're tuning in from, wide across the globe, right here in the nation of the Gambia, in West Africa, in Africa as a whole, in our media platforms, Facebook, and you name it. Whether you're tuning to us live, connected to this fine frequency, this is SENN FM 90.5, broadcasting live as usual, bringing to you every Thursdays on the same time, 12 noon, the voice of ECOWAS. Listeners, without wasting time, I'll go straight to my guests in the studios. Before coming to you, my analyst, you've usually been here, Mr. Pui. I want to go to our guest. We have a very fine gentleman here with us, looking great, looking brilliant, ready to give us what we need in the nation of the Gambia. Yes, sir, you are welcome to the program. And can you tell listeners your name and your background a bit, where you're coming from, before I go to the gentle lady there?
Well, thank you, Anna Marie. First of all, we give thanks for having this opportunity to share information to help our people. And in our story, we'll tell you why we've come here, and that is to help everyone. But it starts with strengthening Mother Africa. So I know, like with any interview, most people want to hear good stuff. And the good stuff here is, how am I going to look good, and how am I going to live long? And some of you might want to know the confusion between vegetarian, vegan, and plant-based. So I'll start first with our background. We've written 3 books on health and nutrition. 2 are current bestsellers. One is Spicy Tasty Vegan, an informative health guide for the melanated, in parentheses, people of color. It's the #1 book in the world on health and nutrition in Amazon, and our book for the general public, Spicy Tasty Vegan Cuisine, an informative guide to healthy living. This is #1 in the UK. What I'd like to do is have my wonderful, lovely wife introduce herself.
Exactly. I never wanted to mix up matters. Normally, I take my time.
Yes.
I don't know whether she's a partner, a wife, or she's just a collaborator in partnership with everything. I don't want to get anybody offended. But now that you forwarded it, that she's your wife,
She is.
excuse me, madam,
Yes.
can you please introduce yourself to listeners and viewers out there?
Yes, I can. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. It's much appreciated. I'm Naasira Ageela, currently known as Mama Naasira. I'm currently living in the Gambia for 4 years. I want to congratulate my husband for promoting and inspiring me to prepare wonderful meals for the world. I'm a native of San Francisco, California, USA. Graduated from City College of San Francisco as a library technician. Have a BA from New College of San Francisco in humanities. I also raised 3 lovely and healthy sons. Married over 40 years, have been vegan over 18 years, and a plant-based vegetarian for 47 years. I'm a chef, health advocate, entrepreneur. I've trained over 20 vegan chefs in the Gambia. Co-author of 9 books, Spicy Tasty Vegan Cuisine. 2 are bestsellers on health and nutrition in the UK and on Amazon. My plant-based lifestyle occurred 47 years ago working in the hospital as a library and a laboratory technician phlebotomist. I contracted hepatitis B from a needle stick. It turned out to be a divine blessing. So,
Wow. I want to start with the hepatitis B. It turns out to be a blessing.
yes,
Can you please elaborate on that?
yes. Well, I worked in the medical field as a laboratory technician. I've had many different professions, and sometime 40 years ago, that was a while. I was trained as a phlebotomist, and I became excellent. And I was so good. I worked in the nursery with the babies as well as in the pediatrics. I unfortunately drew a patient's blood, and the needle stuck me, and I contracted hepatitis B. And from that experience, the doctor said with my liver was inflamed, and I was 19 years old. And he said, you're going to have to eat the way your mother raised you. You cannot eat processed food. He said, because your body is not going to allow you. So that meant that I had to change my way of living. And living with roommates, it was very difficult for me. So I had to eventually move away because they were eating all my food. And then I eventually got my own place, and I started the experience of preparing different foods.
Wow. You know, I'm coming back to you guys because we need to, there's a usual voice of the nation and all our viewers and listeners have been always hearing whilst we are arguing on this platform, you know, looking into issues and analyzing issues. I'm sorry. Excuse me, Mr. Pui, can you please say hello to listeners?
Yes, hello. Today I'm one of the most grateful because I have my friends and people that I know very well after 4 years in the Gambia. And here today I am saying that the voice of ECOWAS today have very great, visitors today. So I want the listeners to open their ears and then ask any question that they have for these gentle couples.
Yes, Mr. Bui, before I go back to the couples, I want you to say something in your local language, wherein your Gambian people, for the grassroots understanding to know the important guests that are on.
Thank you
with us
very
today.
much, President. The grassroots matters most because they are the people that form the chunk of this country. So therefore, if you want to say anything, it has to filter down to the grassroots level so that we can have the understanding. maa ngi nuyu mbooloo mi yëpp di leen wax ne tey moom programme bu ñu am SENN FM Mara day taali baax na lool te bëgg naa ngeen déglu ko ak xel parce que am nañ fi ñaar ñoo xam ne jëkkër a jabar lañ Mama Naasira ak Dr Joe yàgg nañ si Gambia bi am nañ fi ñeneenti at ba pare ñoom liñ dee def mooy dañ ne wan nit ñi lekk bu baax bu gën si doomi aadama bi ko indi njëriñ surtout ñi nga xam ne dañ am ay feebar yi sukur wala feebar yi nga xam ne mooy high blood pressure wala feebar yi sew yi nga xam ne ñu ngi leen a dimbale jël nañ garab ba sonna te mënut a faj ñoom nag dañoo togga dara nga lekk ko nga wér ñu defar dara nga naan ko nga wér so loolu moo tax ñu ne li nga lekk moo laa faj li laa faj mooy li nga lekk surtout Gambia fii bugga nañ sukur su bari bugga nañ diw bu bari bugga nañ maalo bu bari li si ëppa nag yëpp feebar laa indi si nit soo ngeen déglu ko baadi ngolumbe min fola dron wala mu ko bii nga luntan balle soto jan SENN FM anu ñin luntan bal naatale pour e londo min soto jata kende ala karola ibi ñanta wole ibe wole fola jang so sa ñaato domanding ana mari be nomba sol fola alsi min call ka ñinin karo ke wala na lafta pour kal da dunde ñin programme to ana mari.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Salupui, for that local language update, bringing in the grassroots into the program because it's very relevant. Yes, Doctor, before I go to Mommy, can I say Mommy?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. You are a doctor in what? We have various doctors. Is it a PhD doctor or the medical doctor? At least for us to have a grounded understanding before we move with the questions.
Okay, I am a doctor of law, so I have a PhD in law. I also am a social scientist from San Jose State. I'm a graduate from Hastings College of the Law. I am a former teacher and educator for 30 years. I'm a Steps for Peace Award recipient, the director of the Oakland Street Peace Festival, and I am an author, a writer, and publisher of music that is mind-moving, motivational, and positive. And I am also the recipient of very good food because I, like many people have said, that my wife is the best vegan chef in the world, and I agree. And I'm also a wonderful recipient of that.
Wow. I'm so jealous. Okay, let's move on first because I think I have to look into that. The praises are so much here. What I want to also go into, Doctor, you guys have been living in the United States. Is it all your life or you migrated into the United States?
Well, I was born and raised in the United States, in
Okay.
San Francisco.
Okay.
My family was from the South,
Okay.
Arkansas, and they migrated to San Francisco during the 1940s.
Okay.
So I was born in that city,
in the city.
in that area.
Okay,
yes.
what of you, Doctor?
Well, I am a native Californian, but I'm from Southern California.
Okay.
So I traveled up to Northern California, and fortunes were that I met this wonderful angel in the San Francisco area.
Wow. So basically, we're talking to U.S. citizens here,
Yes.
and that is now adopting the citizenship of the nation of the Gambia. All right. What attracted you to look at the Gambia as one of a very convenient platform, or that you can be able to continue your life in a peaceful and joyous manner, knowing very well what the Gambia is, the smiling coast of Africa, and of course always welcoming everyone into the family.
Okay, I'll let Mama give you the history on how we got here from the UK.
Yes, I actually have a really dear friend from Alaska. She was there, and she's actually from the Gambia, and we were friends. And moved to Canada, and then I moved back to my area in San Francisco. And she always said, "When are you going to visit the Gambia? You really should go." And I was thinking, raising 3 children and married, it was kind of impossible. But over the years, I kept that path that I wanted to travel to Africa. And after I retired from my employer as a library technician, I was catering to lots of people, helping them with their diabetes and different illnesses. And after we could not keep up, we decided to write the books. And after writing the books, we thought, well, we had traveled around the U.S. and we had done all we could do there. And so we had an invitation to go to London. And we were there on 13 radio stations doing events. And after 6 weeks, it got cold, very cold. So we said, we need to go to Africa. And someone said, well, why don't you come to the Gambia? And she said, it's a safe place. People are quiet and they're loving people. She said, but I don't know if you can find all the vegan food that you require. And I said, oh, that may be a challenge. So what we did, we ordered a lot of food to ship it to the Gambia, and I talked to Lady Ida, and she connected me with her family. And so when we got here, her brother picked us up at the airport, and he saw us with 9 luggages. He said, these people are not going back to the U.S., and he was exactly correct. So we've been here 4 years, and we didn't come really to know exactly what we wanted to do, but we ended up renting a 6-bedroom compound where we were thinking all of our family and friends would come. Well, it ended up, fast forward, I started hiring chefs to come in and prepare our food because we wanted to make sure that we got our healthy vegan food on a daily basis. So this is why we're here, and we're planning to do more of this in other places too.
Tentatively, Dr. Joe, the person that is introducing you to the Gambia now is in the Association of Gambia's Herbalist group.
Yes.
And looking at your background formation in terms of even nutrition and food types and everything, living standard style, lifestyle and that kind of thing, it's actually coincides very much, would I say, indirectly or directly, almost to like the area he is practicing, that is Mr. Sally Pui, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now what I want to ask is that you are now in the nation of the Gambia, and you've brought in so much that you've acquired from the United States. What exactly are you looking at impacting? Because I'm going to come back to the food makeup and giving out the information out there, how we can be able to at least help people know how to live a better lifestyle and keep their feet on going, for a longer life living. But like, what exactly is your intention? Because I'm obviously sure that it's not only like just residing in the Gambia and just enjoying the, there's a lot of sand everywhere in the Gambia, so like, just enjoying it. You feel that even when you're out of the beach, you're in the beach.
Yes. Well,
exactly.
I am not discounting the beauty of the country, the beauty of the people, the environment, but our motivation in writing our books is because our people in America are dying. Most of the people in America are breathing an air that's not good, whether it's geoengineered, where they're dropping things down on them. This goes down into the soil. So even when we grow the fruits and vegetables, they are not nutritionally dense. Many of us are drinking water that's not good, whether it's coming from old pipes, a lot of them made of lead. And many of them also have to suffer drinking water through plastic bottles. And most people do not want to think about the elephant in the room, and that is that chemicals leach into the water. And most of us, we have also received a lot of food that's been sprayed with herbicides, pesticides, and this has affected our bodies. In fact, for the last 50 years, which is three things alone: the water, the food, and the drink. These are things that we call hormonal disruptors. By disrupting your hormones, that means you can, in your mother's womb, come out a boy, but their insides are a girl, or vice versa. And in America, it's quite common where we can have a woman to have a baby with both sexes. And what they generally do, they generally cut off the penis because that is concentrated melanin. So they use it for very expensive cosmetics. Sprinkle out the skin, make you look good, okay? And that person is generally raised as a girl. That is why if you take a glance, we have so many football-looking American women running around. And we see that the trend can also come here if it is not halted. And one of the things we set about to do to save our people in America was understanding we have to strengthen the mother. In this case, it's the mother. If the mother is strengthened, she can better take care of her children. And here in the motherland, this is the origin of everything. You have all of the resources. You have everything. The only difference between us in America or in the Caribbeans, England, wherever pockets of black folks are, we've all been beaten, just with different sticks. So what we have to do is work on our healing by understanding this and coming together. So Mom and our motivation is to save the whole world. We wrote a book not just for people of color, because a lot of folks don't understand the many physical differences between Europeans and white. And this is what necessitates or make it very important for us to eat food that's going to support our body. When we started writing the book, we were amazed to know that black people's body is like, what, really? Is this true? That our bones are 10 times stronger or denser than the Europeans? Oh my God, that means our hemoglobin level is different. That means our very cells itself are different. We have more selenium in the inside of our melanin cells, where Europeans have more sulfur. That is why when they get wet, they give off that smell. They have more ammonia salt in their body that keeps them warm. So that's why we can be in a cold office and they're cool with it. They can jump in cold water, they're cool with it, because we are very, very different. And the list is so long. That's why we wrote the book. But, you know, we can talk about that in other workshops. But I think it's important we understand that Europeans, they have more worms and parasites to break down or metabolize their food.
Wow.
That's why we cannot eat the same type of food they eat.
Wow.
So that's our motivation.
Wow.
Our green book is for the general public.
Wow.
And why do we want to give that to them? Because we understand. If you follow along with what the book is saying, your pineal gland or third eye will begin to open.
Wow.
And you will become more human, more feeling. And if we are to be on this planet together, that's a good start.
Please comment, like,
Share and subscribe.
follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Spicy, tasty vegan cuisine. Yeah.